Welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K23 Next Gen. In today's video, we have another prospect rebuild, and today we have Amen Thompson to the Houston Rockets. So the Rockets are probably a little bit disappointed right now. They had the third worst record in the league, and they ended up with the fourth overall selection in a draft that many consider to be a three-headed monster between Victor Wembanyama, Brandon Miller, and Scoot Henderson. But this is not a bad consolation prize. Amen Thompson is a good, explosive, quick player. He's got great handles. His downside right now is he's not a great shooter from the three-point line or the free throw line. I just looked up a scouting report just to make sure. But, this doesn't necessarily feel like the worst pick in the world. I know in this game specifically, he progresses very well, and he's a possible Kevin Porter Jr. replacement. So that's the pick we're making today. I do think he's the guy they're going to end up taking at number 4. I think it makes the most sense. Unless one of Miller or Scoot Henderson slips to 4, then you probably take them. But at this point in time, I like this draft pick a lot. As always, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. I know you guys do have tons of great video ideas, so let me hear them down below. Of course, you guys are new around here, have not yet subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit that sub button. Stick around a while, we'd love to have you. But yeah, man, this is a prospect rebuild. It's a 5-year rebuild, so it's going to be a long one. Get back, get your popcorn ready, and enjoy. But let's go do this 5-year Amen Thompson Houston Rockets rebuild. All right, so we have already simulated all the way through the draft, and the reason that I did that is to make sure that we were actually able to get Amen Thompson, and the draft didn't go in some crazy order because 2K thinks it'll go that way. But we have Amen Thompson. We also got an absolute steal because we have the 20th overall pick as well. I believe that's from, is it the Clippers or it's somebody else that it's from? But whatever it is, they have number 20 as well. We got Greg Dickey here, who's a 75 overall, and that is a really good overall for the 20th overall pick. He's only 19 years old. But obviously the man we're going to try to build around today, or kind of add to this young core that they have here, is Amen Thompson. He's 20 years old. He's 6'6". Likely to be my point guard of the future. So let's just get into this. This is not a realistic rebuild. I want to put that out there right now, but this is a 5-year rebuild, so we definitely have some more time to let some of these younger guys progress. Jalen Green progresses very, very well in this game. He's been okay. I think there's definitely some concerns with Jalen Green. I'm not really necessarily too worried about him. I think he's going to be good in the future in real life, and I think he'll definitely be good in this game. Şengün is great. He's a tremendous young center. Kenyon Martin Jr., yes. Josh Christopher, yes. Garuba, I'll bring back. He is only 21. Dacian Nix, I can probably get a draft pick for him. Again, only 21, so we'll bring him back again. Not a realistic rebuild. Qualifying Darius Days, probably not. Also, I know what you're all thinking, or maybe thought it at one point in time. I don't really know. Asking if I did bring in Ime Udoka in the game like I did, or like they did in real life. And the answer to your question is no. And the simple reason why is because he wasn't in the game. I don't know if they took him out or I just couldn't find him. But I went ahead and I definitely tried to find him. And unfortunately, just wasn't happening today. So, we're just going to get right back into this. Also, I'll show you who I signed. Where is Seth signing? Yeah, oh shit. Okay, I'll show you after. Free agency right now. Who do we have in terms of our major free agents? We have Frank Kaminsky and Boban. I'm sure Boban is a great locker room guy to have, obviously. One of the more beloved players in the league, but ultimately, I don't really feel like we need him here in 2K. It's not going to make nearly as much of an impact. So, if we kind of go over this roster right now, the good, the bad, and the ugly, obviously, we have kind of our 2 point guards we're going to be rolling with. I am going to give the nod to Amen Thompson. I like his potential a lot more than KPJ's. He'll end up coming off the bench. He's on a pretty good deal. It's around 2 years, $33 million. We do have Ty Washington Jr. from Kentucky, right? Yes, he is. Was the 29th overall pick just last year. Probably won't really be able to see the playing time here, which is a little bit unfortunate. Kind of is what it is. Obviously, we just brought back Nix, who will probably get traded. We have Green and Christopher good there. The small forward spot is probably the weakest. That's why I drafted one at pick 20. Honestly, we got kind of a steal, I think, at number 20 in Greg Dickey. So we'll see what we want to do there. I think Dickey will probably end up being the backup in terms of the starters. I don't know if I really love the future with either Kenyon Martin Jr. or Jae'Sean Tate. They're not bad players, but they're neither of which will probably be starting small forwards on a championship team at some point in time. Jabari Smith Jr., just the 3rd overall pick last year. Interesting rookie season. He definitely had his ups and his downs, but I think he's going to progress really well, and we're definitely going to go ahead and build around him. You got Terry Eason here as well, and then obviously I went over Şengün. I like him a lot, and you got Garuba here, only 21 years old. So there's definitely some possibility for a trade coming in terms of the small forward spot specifically. In terms of who we could go sign, I know there's some rumors that they have some interest in a Cam Johnson or Dylan Brooks. I don't think Dylan Brooks is the answer. Maybe Cam Johnson, depending how much he asks for, but that's not really a great signing. Maybe Josh Hart. I don't know. We'll see. I think Kuzma's not even a bad option at all either. The troubling part and the challenge that we're going to really find ourselves in is this is not a great free agency class. There's maybe one guy here that I can realistically see starting on a championship team. That's Kuzma. Maybe Cam Johnson if the rest of the roster is just absolutely insane. So it's an interesting position. We're going to figure out what we're going to do next. The Chicago Bulls want to give me their first round pick next year for Ty Washington Jr. and a second, ultimately, for an unprotected first that could end up being pretty valuable for a backup point guard who, albeit only was drafted last year, but probably won't play. This is worth it. We're going to do that trade 10 times out of 10. So, welcome to the team, that draft pick, I guess, or whoever we use it on next year. In terms of Dashy and Knicks, I'm probably not going to... I don't think I'm going to really... I don't deserve a first-round pick, but obviously you saw that I was offered one here from the Cleveland Cavaliers, so I'm going to do it. It kind of feels a little cheesy, but is what it is. So now the decision at the small forward spot. I think Jayshawn Tate's definitely the odd man out of these three. And there's an argument for maybe Kenyon Martin Jr. as well. And I'm only saying that because I drafted Greg Dickey. He obviously has a lot more team control. He's going to be cheaper in the long run, and he's 3 years younger than Kenyon Martin Jr. That's kind of why I'm leaning that way right now. I wouldn't mind maybe packaging Garuba and maybe even Kenyon Martin Jr., but, like, he's not a bad player. I don't think he's the future at the position, if you know what I'm saying. And I drafted Dickey. I want to give him a shot. So we're going to look for a potential upgrade at the backup center spot, and this is kind of exactly what I was looking for. A guy like Bobby Portis Jr., this team definitely needs more veterans. He's obviously won a championship before. That's some pretty good leadership right there, in my opinion. So Clint Capella is an option. I don't really want to bring Clint Capella back to Houston. I don't really love that fit too much with this team. But I would not mind bringing a tremendous sixth man back in... whoa. I'm not paying DeAndre that much money. I'm just not doing it. But I would not mind bringing in a guy like Bobby Portis Jr. He's obviously battle-tested. He's a veteran player, a tremendous sixth man. And you know what? We're going to go ahead and we're going to do it. Welcome to the team, Bobby Portis Jr. So you have Şengün and Bobby Portis Jr. You obviously have Jabari Smith Jr., Terry Eason. And then I'm interested in what I'm going to do with Jayshawn Tate. And obviously that's only if I go out and sign Kuzma. I might do it. I think I'm going to give him the nod. I'm going to give a 4-year deal, about $19 million per season. Actually, what are his other contracts? Because I don't want to just lose him for nothing. He has 3 years, $56 million, basically. I think he'll probably prefer ours. So we'll do $20 million a year for 4 years. It's about $80 million. Is he going to let me front load it a little bit? I wouldn't mind front loading it a little bit because now we have the money right now down the line. We could save some money. So we get Kuzma in here, which is obviously cool. Days and Hudgens can probably go. Kuzma will be my new starting small forward, and I think we're making kind of the right moves right now. We're putting somewhat smaller pieces that are eventually going to lead into one kind of big piece, if you will. So are we a contender next year? No, but we've set ourselves up very nicely, which means Jayshawn Tate's probably seen his last days here in Houston, but honestly, that's fine by me. Maybe we can trade him to a contender. He can go out and try to win some games, actually. I don't know. But Jayshawn Tate, in terms of the trade, just give me a draft pick, somebody. Utah wants to give me one. Dallas wants to give me one. You know what? I'll take a flyer on this one because I think Davis Bertans is not going to give me much trade value, but I don't know. It's one of those things that, you know, you get a draft pick and a bad contract for a decent player. I don't know. Thank you very much, Charlotte. God, I love this game. Okay, so that's it for now. We didn't make any crazy moves this offseason. I mean, we made some decent moves, definitely, but I'm pretty happy with the end result we do have right now. But we're not a contending team, but this is a fun team. I'll see you guys at the start of year one. It is officially now the start of year one for us here in Houston. We had a pretty good offseason. We obviously made some pretty, I don't want to say large moves because there wasn't anything crazy. I mean, signing Kyle Kuzma isn't exactly groundbreaking news. But we made, I would say, some medium-sized moves and some smaller moves that I think are both going to help the team in the now and down the line. So I'm very happy with the way this looks right now. Funny enough, the game actually wants KPJ to start over Thompson, but that's not happening. I mean, this is a rebuild around Amen Thompson, and I like his potential quite a bit. So we're going to give him the nod. Here's how the rotation's going to look. It's Amen Thompson. Jalen Green's up to an 88 overall, which is just brilliant. I mean, he went up 4 overalls in a single offseason. That is exactly the kind of progression we're looking for, and it's exactly the kind of progression that could have him be the number one on this team for a long time. Obviously, we gave Kuzma a 4-year, $80 million deal. I mean, again, I backloaded the front-loaded the contract, so it's going down in value per year, which definitely could help us out down the line. We have Jabari Smith Jr., who I'd like to see his overall go up a little more. Obviously, it's only year 2, 81 overall, not too bad. We have Şengün here. The bench unit's actually tremendous. Bobby Portis Jr., I love those glasses. Kevin Porter Jr., Terry Eason, Greg Dickey, and Josh Christopher. I think everything's really looking up right now. We're not a championship team or a contender. Hell, I don't even know if we'll be in the playoffs, but we're definitely on the up and up, and I think things are going to be good in a very short time. I'll see you guys at the end of year one. Year one ends, and 2K's favorite player, Darius Garland, is winning MVPs. I know. And every time I say this, I don't mean to shit on Darius Garland. I will be amazed if Darius Garland ever gets to the level one day that he is an MVP caliber player. As of now, I don't quite see that possibility, but he's still a tremendous player. It's just funny how he wins like at least 2 MVPs every time. I'm just stating the obvious. Victor Wembanyama wins Rookie of the Year, obviously the #1 overall pick, generational prospect, and yeah, he's going to be a pain in the ass in the Western Conference for a very long time. Dude, I will say, as a fan of an Eastern Conference team, I think that was my favorite part of the draft lottery. Obviously, I had no pony in the race. I didn't give a shit who won the draft lottery, but for my perspective, having him go to the West is about the biggest win we could have possibly had. Scoot Henderson wins 6th Man of the Year in Portland. I don't know. I mean, I think that 3rd overall pick is going to be interesting to see what Portland does. I've said it a million times, and I know this is not exactly what a lot of Trailblazers fans want, but keeping Damian Lillard and trying to build a competitive team around him, a championship-level competitive team when he is at the age he is, I think he's, what, 33, 34, is just not smart, especially in a very, very good Western Conference. It makes no sense to me. Miles Turner, Defensive Player of the Year. Good pick. Darius Garland also wins Most Improved, JB Bickerstaff, Coach of the Year. We're the 9 seed here. You can see it right there. To be completely honest with you, I didn't see our record. I was scrolling aimlessly through Twitter. But we finished 41-41, only 1 game behind the Kevin Durant and Devin Booker-led Phoenix Suns. So not a bad first season for us here whatsoever. All right, let's take a look at the numbers on the year, see who did what. Jalen Green led us in scoring. Again, tremendous season from him. Jabari Smith Jr., Amen Thompson, very solid rookie season. 14 points, around 5.5 rebounds, almost 8 assists per game, 2 steals, almost a block a game. It's great. Field goal percentage, we could definitely raise that a little bit. It's not tremendous, and I'm hoping if he's going to, yeah. I was going to say, if you're going to take the 3, you got to hit him. Man, I don't like him taking 3.5 threes a game if he's only going to hit less than 1. Not exactly ideal, but it is his rookie season. I'm going to give him some time. Şengün, Kyle Kuzma wasn't maybe as good as we wanted him to be, but ultimately, if we have our younger guys stepping up, and honestly, we could be in the playoffs in year one, I'm not necessarily that disappointed. But we do have the Lakers here in the first round. Obviously, we're going to have to win 2 games to get into the actual playoffs, and any team led by LeBron James and Anthony Davis is going to scare me when we are a very young team. We do end up winning, though, so we eliminate the Lakers, and now we have possibly an even more challenging matchup here in the Phoenix Suns. They have 85-year-old Chris Paul here still running the point. You got Booker, you have Durant, you got Ayton. Can we get by him and get into the playoffs? We cannot. We get eliminated, so we do not make the playoffs in year one. Basically came as close as you possibly can without actually making the playoffs. We're going to have a Cleveland Cavaliers and a Memphis Grizzlies finals. Let's see what ends up happening. I'm going to assume the Cavs just because they're one of 2K's favorite teams. Yeah, they go on to win in 6. And Donovan Mitchell in 6 games in 42 minutes averages 40.5 points. Holy shit. And it wasn't like his field goal percentage was bad. It looked pretty damn good. All right, so let's hit the draft lottery again. We're not going to have one of those top picks this year. A little bit unfortunate. We have that Brooklyn pick. Is there a swap on that? I know there's some swaps sometimes, but I don't know the rule on this one. Oh my God, there's not a swap. We just have an unprotected Nets pick, and they're number 2. I'm assuming that goes back to the James Harden trade. And we also have number 11 from the Bulls, which is great. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good right now. That's honestly pretty solid. I wish I could get Ime Udoka. This is who I signed. I didn't even show you guys last year. We signed Roland Coleman. Had pretty decent ratings, and I don't know. Not a guy I've ever signed before. I tried to find Ime. If Ime's here, I might sign him. I don't know if he's going to be, though. And I'm not. This dude did a really good job year one. So unless Ime's here, who I just love as a head coach, trust me, he's going to be great for Houston. I don't think we move on from this guy. Yeah, I'm not seeing Ime. Another former Celtics coach and Joe Mazzulla if you want. Yeah, he's not here. So we're going to roll with Roland Coleman. Honestly, has good ratings, and we could have possibly overachieved in year one. We have another number 2 draft pick coming to the table here. We also have number 11, and we have 4 and 23 in round 2. So some decisions to be made, and we take a look at this draft class. You have Matas Buzelis, Isaiah Collier, Ian Jackson. I mean, this is a pretty solid draft class overall. So decisions to be made. See you guys with possibly a trade or in the draft. Relatively small trade here, but we're sending our 2 second-round picks that we have this year over to Los Angeles for 2 second-round picks. In 2025, I do want to draft somebody second overall. There's 2 players that wouldn't mind having either. And honestly, because we still have those 4 years left, I would be inclined to start one of those players and see how well he can progress. So we're going to see who goes number 1 overall here. and it is going to be Cody Williams. Was not one of the guys I had on my board. I was deciding between Matas Buzelis and Ian Jackson. I have seen mock drafts where Matas Buzelis is the clear-cut number 1. I've seen some where Ian Jackson maybe goes number 2 or whatever it is. I think Buzelis is going to be my guy here. He's 6'10". I'm going to play him at the small forward spot. And we're really going to continue to roll out this young core here and hopefully have these guys progress. Because I think this guy's going to be very good. I've seen him very good in these situations. We're going to make the pick. In terms of number 11, which we also have from the Chicago Bulls, Zachary Rizicher is here. Could he be a potential replacement for Josh Christopher? I don't know exactly what Josh Christopher's contract looks like, but he could be a potential replacement. That's the pick we're going to make. I also saw Bronny James there. I don't really need a point guard right now, unfortunately. I have 2 pretty decent young guys, so I'm going to roll with it. We have Matas Buzelis at a 77, Rizicher at a 76. We're going to go ahead and we are going to move, where the hell is he? Buzelis to the small forward spot, where he actually goes up to a 79. And then in terms of what I want to do with Kyle Kuzma, because honestly, I kind of want to keep Grady Dick. I think he's a decent option behind Matas Buzelis. I just don't know what I do with this Kuzma contract. I don't want to just give him up for nothing, but I don't know. We'll see. Green, Şengün, Eason, Jabari Smith Jr., and Josh Christopher will all be coming back. Obviously, we'll have to make a decision on Josh Christopher as well. I'm not just going to let him go for nothing. But I think his replacement could possibly be here. So we take a look at free agency. We're not going to have any money right now, or at least not nearly enough to go out and get a Jaylen Brown. I know that's a possible rumor that a lot of people like to believe is true, as much as it might hurt me as a Celtics fan. But we're just going to roll with kind of this core. I think we have a really good team right now. I think Josh Christopher's probably on his way out. Not a bad player, but we went ahead and potentially drafted his replacement, who's 3 years younger. Hell, could be better. And then with Kuzma, we'll see. I don't know exactly what we're going to do with Kuzma. Again, he's a good enough player where I don't want to just let him go. I mean, we just signed him to a deal. I'd like to bring him back ideally, but I don't know if there's that spot for him right now. So 2 first-round picks from the Utah Jazz here for Josh Christopher is tremendous. And then we go out, and I don't know what I'm going to see for Kuzma. If I find a good deal that has a potential pretty valuable draft pick, that's something I could definitely talk myself into. I see Lauri Markkanen here. I don't really feel like going and making that trade. We have kind of our starters and the guys we want to start. Do I maybe take a flyer on Keegan Murray? I like Keegan Murray quite... Holy shit, I'm taking a flyer on Keegan Murray. Which means Terry Eason's time here is probably done. I think Keegan Murray's definitely better. I'm just going to go with it. I am. I don't have a problem with Terry Eason either, but ultimately I'm going to go with the upgrade, or at least what I consider an upgrade. You're more than welcome to disagree with me. So we don't really need any starters or any really bench pieces at this point in time, so I'll try to find a trade for... Jordan Poole. I'll try to find a trade for draft picks. I don't know who has any really valuable draft picks. Like, do the Spurs want to offer me anything, or the Thunder? I know both those teams have some draft picks. So, Terry Eason, he's only making $3 million, which is also nice. Over to the Thunder, who obviously have $1 million draft picks. Can I do this? And then how about this? You guys want to do that? What do they say? We don't want. It's $3 million. Jesus Christ. How about if I throw you a Cavs pick in 2026? Okay, cool. Sometimes the Clippers weirdly suck. If they don't, that'll be on me. But ultimately, I think it's worth the risk because we have 2 years of Clippers picks. Along with this Cavs pick, we also have another swap. I think we're in a pretty good spot right now. So we have our 10 guys. Obviously, we kind of went young again. Buzelis is definitely going to need some time to develop. But I'm excited to see how well he can develop. So I'm feeling pretty good right now. We'll see you guys at the start of year 2. All right, it's officially the start of year 2 for us here in Houston. We went 41-41 last year and just barely missed out on the playoffs. We went ahead and made some pretty big moves. We signed Kyle Kuzma and then traded him after a year, which I don't love doing, but when we landed the 2nd overall pick for, I don't want to say nothing, because obviously that stems back to the James Harden trade, but we got it in a situation where maybe we didn't need it. I wanted to take advantage of the opportunity we had. We drafted Matas Buzelis. He's going to go ahead and jump into the lineup. Fits pretty well in here. This team's looking beautiful. It's Amen Thompson, Jalen Green, who's up to a 91 overall. You truly do love to see it. Matas Buzelis, who we just took 2nd overall. Jabari Smith Jr. and then Alperen Şengün. This bench is one of the best I've ever had in a second season. Hell, it might be one of the best I've ever had ever. We have Bobby Portis Jr., Kevin Porter Jr., Keegan Murray, Greg Dickey, and Zachary Rizicher. I like this team a lot. I think we are a clear-cut playoff team, and hopefully we go out and we make the playoffs. I'll see you guys at the end of year 2. I think it's safe to say we're finally contenders, and that's only in year 2. We went 66-16 on the year, which is obviously a great record, and it puts us up there with probably all the top teams in the league. Hell, we might even have the best record. Congratulations, Darius. Every year. Isaiah Collier does win Rookie of the Year. He did go 5th overall. Obviously, it would have been cool to see Matas Buzelis win one. He was in the starting lineup, so he had the minutes, but he had a very good team around him. I'm sure he played well. Markelle Fultz has a new home in Memphis, and he wins 6th Man of the Year. Walker Kessler, Defensive Player of the Year. Interesting. Terry Eason, Most Improved. We traded him to OKC. He had a pretty good year. And you know what? I'm still going to take Keegan Murray, but I'm happy to see Terry Eason playing well. And Roland Coleman win Coach of the Year for us. That's great. That's awesome. All right, so we are the 1 seed. I'm assuming best record in the league. Yes, we did. We are right in the mix for teams that can go out and win the damn thing. I mean, obviously, we don't have the experience maybe some of these other teams have, but we do have a very, very good team. And honestly, everything looks great. Jabari Smith Jr. kind of really had a breakout year. That's great to see. All right, so who we got in round 1? We have the Dallas Mavericks here. It's Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, and the rest of the team. They drafted Jarris Walker, which you actually see that a lot, funny enough. I like Josh Green in the starting lineup. I like Christian Wood starting at center. And let's see what ends up happening here in round 1. I think we're up 2-0 right now. We're up 3-0, and we sweep. Awesome. All right, the Lakers here. We actually beat them in the play-in last year. They've added Quentin Grimes. They've added Kelly Olynyk and Killian Hayes. How much are you paying, D'Lo? This should be interesting. Oh, good God. All right, let's see what ends up happening here in the second round. I think we're probably the better overall team. They definitely have the best player, and we sweep. Okay. Have not lost a game yet in the playoffs. Oklahoma City. They have our old friend Terry Eason as their 6th man here. This is a good, young, up-and-coming team, but at the end of the day, we're just a lot better. I think we're a clear-cut better team. We finally lose our first, 2 games in the playoffs. And we go 2-2 right now. We go down 3-2, and we're going to Game 7, and we are in the NBA Finals. We're going to be taking on 2K's favorite team here in the Atlanta Hawks and Trae Young. Amen Thompson with 13 points, 5 boards, 10 assists is your Western Conference Finals MVP. Interesting stat line. Could have been somebody a little bit more deserving, but nonetheless, this is his rebuild, so I'm very happy to see him winning. This is the Hawks team we all kind of know. They've added Brook Lopez. Looks like they've moved on from Clint Capella. They're now starting Okongwu. They have A.J. Griffin in the starting lineup now. They have Mike Conley off the bench, Darius Bazley there, so that's a good team. Am I crazy for thinking we're better? I don't know. We'll find out. We're up 3-1 right now. 3-2. Don't blow it. Oh, my God. Do not do this. Do not blow a 3-1 lead. I will be so disappointed. So disappointed. Also, I'm not going to hop in right now. I don't want to risk getting the 2K glitch and having to have this rebuild end early. So if I'm going to hop in, it's going to be in the final year. But we do go on to win a championship in year 2. And Amen Thompson, the man of the hour, a rebuild, is going to go on to win Finals MVP. Not the craziest stats in the world, but it looks like he had a pretty good Finals. And you know what? I don't really care who wins Finals MVP. As we capture just championship in just year 2, that's obviously great. Let's hit the draft lottery. I don't know if we have any other picks in... oh my God, that Clippers pick's going to be in the lottery. And we also have that Brooklyn pick. Holy shit. So we do end up with the number 7 overall selection from the Clippers, and we also have number 13 from Brooklyn. That's great. Roland Coleman definitely not going anywhere. He's still locked up on a 2-year, $15 million deal. Let's head up to the NBA draft, where obviously we have more high draft picks that we really probably at this point in time don't really need. Holy shit. Okay, what I might do here is I don't know who I would want to draft here. In terms of position, maybe the time has come to find a Bobby Portis Jr. replacement. I don't even think he's so old to the point I wouldn't want to bring him back. Is there maybe an argument to find a replacement for Kevin Porter Jr.? Yeah, but there's not a great point guard here that I can see immediately. There's a couple decent centers. We have a lot of draft picks. I'm going to try to include all these trades and move up just a couple spots. We're going to start at the 3rd overall pick, see if San Antonio will take it. If they do, then that's great. If not, we'll just go back pick by pick. I mean, these are basically every single draft pick I have this year. They don't want to take that, which means we're going to go find whoever has number 4. That is going to be the Warriors. You want to do this? They do. All right, cool. So we now have the 4th overall selection. Obviously, that's a pretty good move. We don't need the depth, so we don't have to go ahead and make tons of picks. And we also move up, so we're going to get a better player. So let's just see who's available for us here at number 4. If the right trade comes along, I'll probably take it. If not, we're probably going to draft somebody. Trey Johnson, Nasir Cunningham, Basala Bagioka is your top 3. I don't need a shooting guard whatsoever. We have our 2 guys. We're good. Bryson Tucker, I don't really need a small forward either. I think Flory Badunga is probably the pick here. I don't know if I'm going to re-sign Bobby Portis or not. Damn, he's 30th on DE rankings. Is this a reach? Is this a bad pick? Makes me a little nervous seeing somebody number 30. I don't know what his overall is going to be. I don't know if it would be a miss if I went ahead and took him. Just curious. Like, what are my options here? Pascal Siakam. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with a couple of these trades. I just don't think they're moves I need to necessarily make. I fully do believe that. So, you know what? I'm going to take the risk and draft Flory Badunga here. I know his rankings were low, and that could be the wrong pick, especially with some of the guys sitting here. He's actually a 77 overall. It's not that bad of a pick, but I am a little nervous for what free agency is going to bring. As Bobby Portis declines, that kind of makes sense. We're bringing back everybody else, which is obviously great. That's the kind of the appeal of a young team, if you will. Şengün and Jalen Green are my number one priorities, or, well, 1A, 1B priorities, probably with Green being first. But you know what I'm saying. Here in free agency, holy shit, we have money for, like, Giannis. But this probably means that probably both. I don't know what the cap holds are, qualifying offers on either of these guys. I would imagine that they're probably decently high. Yeah, I mean, the way this roster is constructed, there's not like a real major contract here, you know what I'm saying? Like, we would probably, you know what? Do I try to sign a Tatum or a Giannis? Bucks are giving him a Supermax. You know what? I'm going to take a flyer. I'm going to give both Tatum and Giannis contract offers. And if it ends up working out, I'm going to do it. If either of them accept it, or I'll find a way to make it work. Because I'm also going to qualify Jalen Green, which is great. And then I'll worry about Şengün after. Holy shit, we got them both. Okay. We're going to have to think about this strategically. I don't know. What's our cap space situation? We're going to be so far... Are we fucked? Can we not get these guys back? If I renounce Bobby Portis Jr., I don't know what our exact cap space situation is, though. Because Green's obviously going to get a qualifying offer. You know what? I should be able to tell after. But I don't... Who would I rather have? How's Giannis been playing? It's been great. Tatum, holy shit. Might even be a better option. Yeah, so I don't know what the right move is here. We're going to be able to get him after Green accepts his qualifying. I'm like almost positive. But I don't want to risk losing either of these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the tricky thing for me. I honestly think we can do this, though. You know what? I'm going to sign Tatum. I want Tatum. He's my guy. He also is getting less money, which I think is also a really big thing to do with it. So Green's obviously going to get a qualifying offer. I'm going to wait on Şengün. I don't know if this is going to work. I hope it does. Şengün still doesn't have any real offers. And then... Can I renounce him? Okay, I cannot. So we're... Okay, now I can see it. So we're $8 million over the cap. He's only $10 million, which means I just have to trade Kevin Porter Jr., and we're going to have an absolute fucking god squad at this point. KPJ, I thank you for your time here. Unfortunately, to get Jason Tatum, I'm going to do this 10 times out of 10. And for the love of... Jesus Christ, we can get Walker Kessler. Can somebody just take him? God damn it. Thank you, San Antonio. Okay, so we're not going to have to renounce... Wait, do we? Oh my god, I have to clear up another million. Son of a bitch. I'm not paying... Flory's making $8 million. Probably the odd man out. I think Rizicher played well for us. You know, I'm going to get this to go through. I need to get this to go through. Can somebody just give me a draft pick? I know I'm kind of screwing things up right now, but honestly, I don't mind doing it. I don't think we're losing like a crazy amount of depth or anything. Seriously, how hard is it to trade and just... Why is this so much more challenging these days? It used to be so easy just to trade a good player and just get draft picks. Now it's impossible. Okay, is this going to work? It is. Okay, please work. Okay, cool. Now I did not renounce Şengün. Now I'll pay Şengün. Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay, well, I know we drafted Matas Buzelis, but we were able to get Jason Tatum, who is obviously playing pretty well right now. And I know people might get mad I took him over Giannis, but honestly, it would have been more of a pain in the ass to get Giannis, because Tatum, we still had $6 million in cap space with him. We were over the cap, basically, if we signed Giannis. So, holy shit. What? Wow, wow, wow. Greg Dickey is 6'6". I'll probably try to move him to the backup shooting guard spot, or Buzelis, who actually started as a shooting guard. What happens to Dickey's overall if I move him to shooting guard? He's only a 78. That's fine by me. So he'll be the backup for Jalen Green. Obviously, we did go ahead and make some trades to lose some depth, but I think we honestly got better. I really do, and I know that might not be a crazy thing to say because we, you know, went ahead and signed Jason Tatum, but you know what? I'm feeling good right now. Our backup point guard won't be great. We'll just sign Jose Alvarado. I'll give him, honestly, a 3-year deal because I can maybe trade him at some point in time. Okay, wow. That's pretty crazy. I'm pretty happy right now. I'll see you guys at the start of year 3. Fresh off a championship, we made a major signing. Was it needed? No. Did I want to do it? Yeah, that's ultimately why I did it. If you're pissed that I don't want to say I blew up the young core because we still kind of have that intact, but obviously I made some moves and maybe some people are pissed, but this team should be winning more championships. It's going to be Amen Thompson, Jalen Green, Jason Tatum, Jabari Smith Jr., Alperen Sengun, the bench unit, Matas Buzelis, Keegan Murray, Greg Dickey, Flory Badunga, and Jose Alvarado. I mean, this is a championship team. I'll see you guys at the end of year 3. We finally get a new MVP, and it is time for Luka Doncic to get his first. He had an incredible season. Obviously, he is an incredible player. We went 72-10 on the year, tying the second best record in NBA history, which is great. I think we have the talent to be up there with some of the great teams. Hopefully we can go out and win a championship. Basala Bagyoka is your rookie of the year. He went 1 pick before our selection. Obviously, it would have been cool to draft him. I still don't think he would have won rookie of the year if we had him, but cool nonetheless. Carson Wallace, 6th man of the year in Brooklyn. Victor Wembanyama wins defensive player of the year. I'm surprised I haven't seen him win one already. Typically, he wins like at least 2 by this point. Zachary Rizisher, our old friend, is winning most improved player in Phoenix. He's obviously getting a lot more minutes, and he's playing a lot better, but is what it is at this point. And Roland Coleman wins Coach of the Year with a record of 72-10. Really no surprise there. All right, let's take a full look at the standings right now. We were 17 games up on the 2-seeded Spurs. I'm happy we won't have to see Victor Wembanyama until at least the Western Conference Finals, if we both get there. Jabari Smith Jr. is just leading this team in scoring. Tatum's kind of taking a step back, honestly. I don't know. I don't really care who does what as long as we're winning games, but interesting to see nonetheless. All right, round 1. We have the 8-seeded Portland Trailblazers. It looks like they have finally moved on from Damian Lillard. They have a new backcourt of Scoot Henderson and Shane Sharp. They've added R.J. Barrett. You have Lou Dort starting at the 4. Interesting for a guy who's only 6'4". Garuba, Anthony Simons, Marcus Smart. Yeah, there's just no way that team's beating us whatsoever. All right, we sweep them. Moving on to Oklahoma City. SGA, Josh Giddey, Jet Howard, Jalen Williams. Another really good team that's relatively young, but now has some experience. But again, I think we're just way better than them. I don't really think it should be necessarily close. Okay, we're going to Game 6, and we do end up winning in 6. I was kind of fearing the San Antonio Spurs because obviously they have this man right here and a pretty decent team around him. We also, I forgot we traded them KPJ. Holy shit. I do think we're the better team, though. I really do believe that, and I do think we will win this series. We're up 3-1 right now. We're back in the NBA Finals. Amen Thompson, once again, Western Conference Finals MVP. And Darius Garland, he has 2 regular season MVPs under his belt, and now he has an Eastern Conference Finals MVP. All right, Garland, OG Anunoby. So they've lost Donovan Mitchell. Let me get this straight. You are starting Jonathan Isaac, who just is like a walking injury, instead of Brandon Ingram? Really? God bless 2K, man. They just make no fucking sense ever. We're up 2-1. We're up 3-1, and we close them out in 5. Jason Tatum, Finals MVP. And we're heading into offseason number 4 with 2 championships. That's pretty good. Actually, I did trade for some picks. Do we have lottery picks? Holy shit, we're projected number 1. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Well, we fall all the way to 5. We also have 8 and 9, which is just absolutely mind-boggling that you can fall to 5 when you have number 1 overall odds. But that's a little annoying, but really I don't need the picks anyways. I don't really know what I'd even do with them. We have some pretty big free agents, it looks like. So in terms of backups, because I have to think about this strategically, there could be a situation that comes that I have to find a replacement for some backups. I think Keegan Murray's a free agent. He potentially could be on the chopping block, and I only say that because he might be asking for too much money. We just might not have the money to actually give him. So backup power forward would not mind drafting one. We also have a backup point guard potentially that we could go out and get. So I'm going to keep number 5. I'm going to move every other pick, see if we can maybe even get up to like, I don't know, maybe even a little bit higher. I don't know, like number 4 or something. Who has number 4? It is going to be thank you very much, Utah. I'm sure this is probably going to be an overpay. It is. It's fine. It's almost, we have a treasure trove of assets at this point that we really just don't need. So I'm going to go ahead and draft a point guard. I'm going to draft a power forward. We will see who's here for us on the board. Cooper Flagg, Marcus Johnson. See, these are probably my 2 guys. Cooper Flagg will be my pick there, and then I'm going to go ahead and I will draft Marcus Johnson. Welcome to the team. Will both of them play? I don't know. Hell, they could both play. Neither of them can play. One of them can play. I don't know. Flagg's a 79 and a 78 overall for Marcus Johnson, which is great. We're bringing all these guys back here. We take a look at free agency. Jabari Smith Jr., Keegan Murray. Definitely going to both get offers. In terms of seeing kind of what money... Oh, did Giannis only sign a one-year deal somewhere? Oh, he signed a one-year deal in Toronto. Interesting. Jalen Green is my #1 priority right now. I have to be able to get him back, and I think I still have the money to do it, but we're going to be pretty close on some of these other guys right here. Jabari Smith Jr., I'm going to qualify. I know that might not be the right decision, but I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to wait on... Actually, you know what? I might be able to get Jabari Smith Jr. back without qualifying him. Let me wait. And then Jalen Green. So this is a bit of a risk here. And I'm only saying that because I'm hoping we're going to have enough money to get this done. I don't know that for a fact. But we're going to find that out in just a second. Holy shit, we do have enough money. That's absolutely insane. In terms of Keegan Murray, wow. I cannot believe we have the funds to do that. This is a literal fucking God squad at this point. I don't even know. So obviously, Keegan Murray is back now, which means Cooper Flagg probably won't play, even though he probably should. I think his potential is really good. Do I maybe move... I kind of want to move Keegan Murray. And I'm only saying that because we're going to have more free agents next year, but I think Keegan Murray, I want to kind of have him stay. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I think Alvarado is definitely gone. Maybe move Marcus Johnson and Alvarado and just see what we can do. I know it's weird to trade a guy who's, oh my god, he has 4 stars in trade value. Holy shit. This is insane. This is, I don't really know. I don't know. Just curious. Just curious. Anything like, if there's something crazy here, I'll do it. If not, no. There's nothing crazy there. That's, like, I can't believe he has 4. You know what? Maybe I'll just keep Marcus Johnson. Maybe I'll just move Alvarado. Cooper Flagg, unfortunately, probably won't play. But you know what? This guy has 4 stars in trade value. We're going to go ahead and give him a shot. All right. I am kind of shocked right now. But you know what? I'm feeling good. I'll see you guys at the start of year 4. We won our 2nd straight championship last year. We went ahead and we made a couple moves with this team. Nothing crazy. The starting 5 stays exactly the same. And we're hoping to go out and win our 3rd championship. I mean, this team's just crazy impressive. It's going to be Amen Thompson, Jalen Green, Jason Tatum, Jabari Smith Jr., Alperen Sengun. The bench unit is great. Matas Buzelis, Keegan Murray, Greg Dickey, Marcus Johnson, and Flory Badunga. I wish I can get Cooper Flagg minutes. I just don't see a way I start him over Keegan Murray right now in terms of the bench unit. I don't know. He is 6'10". Maybe I could play Flory Badunga over him, but he's also... he's 210 pounds. It's not exactly great for a center in the NBA. I don't know. We'll get him minutes at some point. See you guys at the end of year 4. I feel like I low-key forgot this rebuild's all about Amen Thompson, but he wins an MVP, and honestly, that's incredible. I didn't see our record, to be honest. I was, again, aimlessly scrolling through Twitter, but it is what it is. I'm sure we were very good. Cameron Boozer, Rookie of the Year in New York. He went #2 overall. Keontae George, 6th Man of the Year in Toronto. Victor Wembanyama, Defensive Player of the Year again. Adam Bone, Most Improved. And holy shit, we went 74-8. And Roland Coleman going to win Coach of the Year. Wow, 78. Did I say 74-8? 78-4. Dyslexia kicking in. Wow. Oh my god, that's actually crazy. 78 wins. I've done it in the past. I don't know if I've done it in, I don't know if I've done a prospect rebuild. I've definitely done it in like a rebuild before that's not like in Legends Challenge. I think I've won 81 games before. Actually, no, I've done 82 overall. I've done 82 once. It was years and years ago, just thinking back. It doesn't really matter who we're playing. I'm assuming De'Aaron Fox and Zion's a tremendous duo, but yeah, thanks for coming. Yeah, this is cool, but it's just, it doesn't really matter. And then we have OKC here in the Western Conference Finals. They scare me a little bit just because I think the game likes OKC a lot, and they obviously do have an incredible team, so we're going to go ahead, take it game by game, and it doesn't matter. We're going to be taking on the Indiana Pacers here in the NBA Finals. Okay, you got some guys. Our old friend Bobby Portis now starting for them. Good team. I just think we're better. I really, really do. We're up 3-0, and we've won officially 3 straight championships. Jason Tatum Finals MVP this time. Okay, well, let's hit the draft lottery. See if we have any more picks. I can't imagine that oh my god, we have another lottery pick. How that's even possible, I have no idea. Thank God it stays at 12, because if it moved up, I don't even know what I would do. Shit, I want to get Roland Coleman back. He was obviously a tremendous coach for us. I think he won 3 Coach of the Years, and that probably has a lot to do with the talent on this team. But hey, you don't win championships without good head coaches. You just don't do it. Oh, maybe except for the Bucks in 2021, but okay, we'll see. Holy shit, we have a ton of other draft picks this year. I'm going to trade all these, and I'll be back. We're not drafting anybody this year. I don't need to draft anybody this year. We're bringing Buzelis and Flory Badunga back. Amen Thompson, Greg Dickey, both going to get qualified. Hopefully I have the money to do so, because now I'm actually starting to get scared that I might not have money. Okay, this is priority number 1. Shit, yeah, I knew that was coming. All right, so this is why we did what we did, because we now have to probably go out and trade Keegan Murray. I don't really think we'll have to trade anybody else, but Keegan Murray's obviously number one, and then Cooper Flagg will just play next year. I mean, that's why I kind of thought it would be a good idea to keep him. In terms of who we're going to trade him for, I just want to save as much money as possible. I'll do this trade with Dallas. I don't need draft picks. I don't need anything. I just need to save money. So Nurkic is going to go. I'm going to move. Who was the other guy we got there? I don't know who it was, but just draft picks immediately. Just anything. Or somebody with like a $0 salary. Thank you very much, Detroit. I know that's not a real thing. I'm just saying. How did Jose Alvarado... Was he in the trade? Because I know I traded him at one point. Thank you very much, Chicago. Do we have the money to go ahead and offer Amen Thompson? Okay, thank God. So he'll get qualified. I'll wait on Greg Dickey. There's a possibility he just accepts his qualifying offer, which honestly I wouldn't hate. But I'm obviously worried about Amen Thompson. I mean, hell, this is his rebuild, and he just won an MVP for me. So, and he's won 2 Finals MVPs, I believe. So Greg Dickey, I don't think we're gonna have the, what? No way. Oh my God. Wow. All right, so we're getting him back, and honestly, I'm not changing anything else. Cooper Flagg will play now, and that's fine by me. I'll see you guys at the start of the 5th and final year. Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We really don't make any major changes to this team. We have a couple new guys playing, but ultimately, if we're on our way to 4 straight championships, I don't really care. It's going to be Amen Thompson to Jalen Green, Jason Tatum, Jabari Smith Jr., Alperen Sengun, the bench unit, Matas Buzelis, Greg Dickey, Cooper Flagg, who's actually progressed up to an 83 after literally not playing his rookie season, which is cool, I guess. Marcus Johnson, and then Flory Badunga. I'll see you guys at the end of the 5th and final season. It is the 2nd MVP for Amen Thompson, which is obviously cool to see. We didn't win 78 games this year. We won 75, so it's not technically the best record in NBA history, but who the hell cares? Jamal McKnight Jr. is your Rookie of the Year. He went 2nd overall to Denver. Justin Edwards, 6th man. Chet Holmgren, Defensive Player of the Year. Adas Mara, Most Improved, and Roland Coleman. I think that's, what, 4 straight Coach of the Years? Good Lord. Yeah. I mean... It's not going to matter at all who wins what award or whatever. Whoever scores the most, it does not matter. We have Portland here in round 1. Looks like they've actually done a pretty good job rebuilding. I give them a lot of credit. I think, unfortunately, at this point in time, we're just a lot better. And then we have Oklahoma City again in round 2, who have now lost Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That sucks because they're a really good team, but cool. And then San Antonio once again. You have Isaiah Collier and Victor Wembanyama as kind of that big 1-2 punch. Got some good surrounding pieces. Awesome. All right, we have Orlando here in the NBA Finals. We are going to be taking on, they got Jalen Hood, Trey Johnson, Brandon Ingram, Terry Eason, Zubats. Terry Eason, I kind of wish he could have stayed throughout the rebuild, but I don't think Rockets fans are probably too mad at me. We sweep them, and Jason Tatum Finals MVP. All right, well, 4 championships in one video is relatively unheard of, but yeah, we definitely have the talent to do so. So, Rockets fans, if I traded any of your favorite players, I apologize. I think I kept most of the good ones, or the guys like Jalen Green and, you know, Jabari Smith Jr. and Sengun, who progress really well and are going to be good players down the line. I don't know. We'll see. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section on any other rebuilds you do want to see. Obviously, we have to wait a long time before we finish off the final 2 offseason rebuilds with the Miami Heat and the Denver Nuggets, but I'm very excited to watch the finals. I really am. Other than that, if you guys are new around here, if not yet subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit that sub button. That's pretty much it. This team is fucking crazy. It might be one of my best ones ever. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.